Hi, once again, this is Vincent Yu from the Active Reach team at MDSec Consulting. So a while back I wrote a tool called MorphHTA, as we can see here. And actually, back in February, I released this to the public and submitted the sample onto VirusTotal. At that point in time, it was actually, the detection rate was quite low. It was 0 out of 52. Quite recently, I've actually rescanned this sort of sample and generated a new sample and scanned it again, and it was still actually 0 out of 67. So I figured, hey, why not show people how to actually make use of this? So against like more modern defenses, it is not as applicable. So let's say if there was actually endpoint detection and response capability, with tools such as CrowdStrike or Carbon Black, or maybe even Microsoft's Advanced Threat Protection, then this probably wouldn't work because you'll be able to detect the MSHTA.exe spawning the PowerShell.exe default in Cobalt Strike. However, you can actually use this for other techniques within MSHTA.exe by utilizing COM objects to spawn without using the MSHTA.exe parent, which I won't show in this video, but I'll show you in the next video how to do. So here we're just going to show you how to make the Cobalt Strike payload fully undetected. So if we generate a HTML application under attacks packages HTML application, I'm just going to use the PowerShell method, so HTTPS with PowerShell method. So MorphHTA only obfuscates the PowerShell method and not the executable or VBA. So let's keep that in mind, because it pays special attention to not manipulate the casing of the PowerShell block. So now we can save the eval.hta. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So if we save it under the MorphHTA folder, so you can actually grab this, so the payload will work, and we can sort of, I'll show you what it looks like right now. So it actually looks like this. Let's just remove these. I was working on something a bit earlier. But yeah, so it looks like this is a JavaScript block, and that's all fantastic, but it will actually be detected. So what we're going to do is, if we pop open a command prompt into the directory, we can just run python morphhta. So first, to get the script, you can actually git clone it off the repo. Yeah, it's probably quite trivial, so I'm not going to show that. So you press enter. Okay, I'm just going to run it in bash because then we get the formatting. So what it does, if we just press enter, it will actually just run and write the payload to MorphHTA. So now the payload looks a bit like this. You still sort of get this VB script thing. You can change that a little bit if you wanted. It dims a lot of fake variables and chains, and this is what it sort of looks like now. So what it's done is it's taken every single character in that original script and changed it to a random variant of like characters and like combined it. It even generates fake variables and fake additions, subtractions, and all that sort of thing to make it a bit more difficult to figure out where the real function and path is like it's executing. So now we're going to go ahead and upload this to VirusTotal. So we go to virustotal.com, upload and scan file. So if we upload the MorphHTA, it'll give it a scan, and hopefully it will come back as 0 out of 67. So let's just watch this happen right now. Uh, 57 right now. I think there's a few more that it will scan with. And I think because of the fact that it is zero detection, it won't actually get flagged by any defenders, so they won't go ahead and sandbox the actual payload like they usually do to make it a bit more difficult. Alright, we can see that quite a few of these sort of like solutions don't look at this payload. So yeah, but we can see it bypasses stuff like Avira, Symantec, Sophos, Geo 360, Panda, Super Anti-Spyware, whatever that is, Trend Micro, Zone Alarm, and yeah, all the rest. So yeah, it works pretty well, and because it's 0 out of 58, make sure you say it's safe, because it's totally safe. If we look at the block, there's some obvious stuff that you can look for. So you can actually play with the payload a bit more. So when you specify in the command line, there's a few options. You can actually change the input file and stuff, but then you can also change the, let me make this a bit smaller. You can actually change the number of like variables and the size of the variables and how much to randomize the sort of like generation. So you can minimize the size as well and make it still work. But yeah, hopefully you guys can make use of this tool and it will be helpful on sort of like your engagements.